Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Storytime with Nonie and Finnegan. And today we're going to have the next chapter in Joseph's journey. She is going to tell our story for us today. So welcome, boys and girls, and welcome, Cindy.
Thank you. Well, we're going to start off today with remembering what happened last week. Joseph was in jail with the chief baker and the chief butler. They told Joseph the dream. Joseph told the chief butler and the chief baker what they meant, and it came true. And do you remember what Joseph told to the chief butler? That when you go back to the palace, remember me and tell the king that I don't belong here. I didn't do anything wrong. Well, 2 years have gone by now. And one morning, the king woke up very troubled, and he called the chief butler in and his magicians and all the advisors and said, I had 2 very strange dreams last night, and I want to know what they meant. But none of them could tell the king what the dreams meant. So suddenly the chief butler remembered, Joseph, the Hebrew boy that I was in jail with, he told me what my dreams meant. And it came true. So the king said, go and get Joseph. So they went to the prison and got Joseph all cleaned up and brought him before the king. And the king said to Joseph, I understand that you can tell me what my dreams mean. And Joseph said, no, I can't tell you what your dreams mean. But God can tell you. God can give you the answers you want. So the king said, well, I dreamt that I came up off the riverbank, and behind me came 7 fat, beautiful cows eating in the meadow. And behind them came 7 ugly, skinny cows, and they ate the fat cows. And they still looked ugly and skinny after that. And then I had another dream, and 7 beautiful, plump wheat came up. And behind that, 7 scrawny, scorched wheat came up and ate the plump wheat. And what do you think this means, Joseph? And Joseph told the king, well, God is trying to tell you that there's going to be 7 years of abundance. 7 years where there'll be plenty to eat, and the grain will grow plump and full. And then there's going to be, after that, 7 years of famine, where your people will starve, nothing will grow. And the king said, oh, Joseph, what should I do? And so Joseph began to tell the king and his advisors and the chief butler that what you need to do, king, is appoint someone in charge to take care of the wheat and all the extra growth during those 7 years of abundance, and store it up. So when the 7 years of starvation and famine come, your people will have food. And the king says, oh, that's a wonderful idea, Joseph. And you are so wise, and I believe what you're telling me is good. So I'm going to appoint you to be in charge of all the people in Egypt. And you take care of the abundance and store it up for us, so that when the 7 years of famine come, you can feed my people and they will not starve. And Joseph was just 30 years old when the king put him in charge of all of Egypt. Now, isn't that wonderful, boys and girls, how Joseph was never forgotten by God? How he originally was thrown in the pit by his brothers, and then he was brought to Egypt, and again falsely accused, and then thrown in jail for all those years. But Joseph never gave up. He remained faithful to God and did what God had told him to do. And God brought Joseph's memory to mind so that he could be brought out of jail and brought before the king, and the king could recognize that God was with him, and God rewarded Joseph and made him second in command. I think that was just wonderful illustration how God never ever gives up on us or forgets us. He's always there for us. Even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it, He's always there.
That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing with us, boys and girls. We'll see you next time on Storytime with Nonie and Finnegan. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.